professional athlete. Now think about that. Now you wouldn't believe that by looking at TV or looking at some of the professionals that are participating in athletics now, but it's the truth if you actually look at the statistics. Nationally, more than 500,000 high school boys play varsity basketball annually. 1 million play football, and 400,000 play baseball. And according to the National Federation of State High School Associations, just 2 out of every 100 of them will play basketball for a major league, and only 4 in 100 will play football and baseball. In other words, more than 95% of the boys who play one of the 3 major varsity sports in high school will never compete in sports for a major college. So quite frankly, there's only 5% that will make it. So I say to you, put athletics in the proper perspective. And I said to my son as he ventured off to college last year, he's a freshman in college, he's a basketball player, I told him, and in fact I told his roommate the other night, make sure you keep athletics in the proper perspective. I use athletics as a stepping stone to a career in education. This is my 25th year in education. And consequently, I say to you, use athletics as a stepping stone to whatever life that you want for yourself. Keep it in the proper perspective, because very few of you will go on to play professional sports. In other words, I'm saying that you can't eat a basketball, you can't eat a baseball, and you can't eat a football. You got to have some sense in your head. You got to have some sense in your head in order. In other words, you must get an education. If you don't have an education, you're going to be relegated to common labor. If you don't have something to look forward to, if you want something to look forward to, get an education. You can't take an education away from you. You can fumble the ball, you can miss a fly ball, or you can pass the ball in an errand in basketball. But you can't do that if you have your education. If you have your education, you really can't take that away from you. So I think what I'm saying here today, and that is, I'm not de-emphasizing athletics. I'm not de-emphasizing participation in athletics. I think it's great. But I do want you to make sure that you use it as a stepping stone. And the main thing, the main point that I want to make, and that is to get an education. I was looking at Chicago and San Antonio last night on TV, and a little commercial came up, and the very thing that Michael Jordan said, I think it's true today. Michael Jordan indicated that please stay in school. Of course, Michael Jordan left college early because he was an exceptional athlete, and they paid him a great deal of money to leave college. But Michael Jordan did go back to school, and he's continuing his work, and he will hopefully complete his degree in the very near future. But Michael Jordan constantly pointed out the fact that you need your education. Stay in school. So consequently, you don't have many athletes like Michael Jordan that can come out of college and then go back. In fact, he was such an exceptional athlete, and based on the money that he was actually making, he could actually buy him a college if he wanted to. But so it made sense for him to quit college. But it doesn't make sense for you not to get your education, and the foundation for that education is in the middle school. It has been said that the future is in your hands. If the future is in your hands, and if tomorrow is in your hands, you must get yourself together today. And the responsibility for getting it together begins with you. You need to realize that you will not be children forever. You will not be students forever. Frequently you respond to situations with, I'm young, I can't wait, or I'm just a child. I have time. You do have time, and time has you. An author named Milton once said, the subtle theft of time is being a youth. Do not let the clockwork of larceny catch up with you and catch you unprepared. It is already tomorrow. What has been done in the past is just that, the past. What will happen in the future from this day forward depends on you. Abraham Lincoln said, children are people who will carry on what the adults started. You're going to sit where I'm sitting, and when we are gone, attend to the things that we started. We adults may adopt all of the policies we please, but how they are carried out actually depend on you. You will assume control of the schools, of the cities, and this nation. You're going to take over the churches, the universities, and corporations. And all of our books are going to be juggled, praised, or condemned by you. In fact, what I'm saying to you, the fate of humanity and the fate of this entire nation rests with you. Your participation in athletics is critically important. Athletics pulls people together. It provides leadership for you, especially the 8th graders here. I want to say that the leadership that you provided at Gilcrease Middle School this year was critically important. However, next year, you're going to be in high school. You'll be in the 9th grade. You'll be at the bottom. You're a top dog now. Next year, you'll be at the bottom of the barrel. You'll be a 9th grader. You're going to have to climb all the way until you become a senior. And I'm saying that you're going to have to start developing your leadership skills, and you're going to have to be patient until you become a senior again. I know the coaches are quite proud of your accomplishment. I look to my right here and I see Coach Buggs. Coach Buggs has been coaching at Gilcrease as long as I can remember. And I want you to know that he is a great coach. I have watched him very closely over the years. And the athletes that are developed are actually developed in the middle school. And if an athlete is coached properly in the middle school, then Mr. Bolton's job is going to be easier. And one of the reasons why Mr. Bolton's job is a lot easier is because of people like Mr. Buggs. I've watched him very closely, and I bet he's been in the Gilcrease program for over 20 years. Am I correct on that, Mr. Buggs? Over 20 years. I know that for learn from Coach Buggs, and Coach Blount, and from the other coaches. Learn how to prepare for life and stick with it, practice daily for the things that you know are right, then I know that you will be more successful than you are. The only one thing I can say to you right now that I haven't told you before, well, I guess I have told you that, is that I love you, I'm proud of you, and I will continue to just remain proud of your outstanding group of individuals. And I can't say anything else more than that. So thank you all for coming out today and enjoy your dinner.
I guess we come to the fun part now. I'd like to say a few words before we break to eat. I'd like to thank Mr. House for coming. And most of y'all don't realize he's also my boss. So for a lot of y'all that don't know that, it is a truly great pleasure to have somebody do something outside of just advising you right from wrong, you know, to come out and speak in behalf of the young players. And too, I'd like to thank Coach Bolton for coming, because he's really done helped me in the last 3 years with the group of boys I done had. And it's been a pleasure, and you know, it was a big honor. Last year he asked me to come to the 9th grade rank. And I thought about it. I had such a great time with these kids, trying to follow like what Coach Bolton have done through the year. So I'd like to thank him for coming, and then Mr. Latimer for coming. I'd like to thank all our coaches and our parents for coming. Now at this point, what we're going to try to do, we're going to try to start on one end and have them to go first so we don't get a big crowd. So most of you will be patient. We're going to work from this end this way. So as you see the tables starting to fill back up with their food, then the next group can kind of move in. Let's just keep it quiet and on. One more announcement. If you don't mind, we'd like to let our guests go first, and players and kids, let's let our parents go first too, because a lot of y'all, they come first, and sometimes y'all don't like to recognize it, but we're gonna do it today. So we're gonna let all our parents and our guests go first, and then our students, as we come from this way, from my right to my left, can go next. So right now, let's start with our parents and our guests. Parents, if you have any